This call is being recorded.
All right, please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions whatsoever. That's totally fine. Um, I see you got the progress chart reading, so that's awesome. And I would say the first thing I'd like to mention about this is just knowing you were born in 91. That's actually one of my favorite years astrologically because being born in 1990, that's like to me, um, in a relay race, the baton pass from 90 to 91. In that, y'all have Saturn in Aqua, and we have Saturn in Cap, and you guys have North Node in Cap, and we have North Node in Aqua. So it's really incredible, and it doesn't hurt that North Node in Capricorn also makes you destined for greatness. So yeah, once again, please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have.
Yeah. No, because
Oh,
like I have like a kind of like a question. So like the whole like North Node and Cap thing too. So you're just saying that you guys have the North Node in Aquarius. Isn't Aquarius the natural placement for Saturn? Or is that where it's like
oh
it's
yes. So that has gone around. They'll call it ancient rulership, and
uh-huh.
I'll call that bullshit. But
Nice.
yeah, I mean, it in a way you can. I like to look at Saturn and Aquarius as like the cool uncle who is disciplined but will let you smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like they don't let you break the rules. They still just don't want you to go the wrong path. I don't know, but
Right.
yeah, Uranus is for sure the ruler of Aquarius, and Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. But yeah, you could look. Some people like to look at Saturn as like another ruler. The only reason why they do is because when Saturn traditionally was designated as ruler of Aquarius, they did Uranus wasn't visible in the sky. So these people back then were like, "Well, we don't know what to give Aquarius. We'll just give it Saturn. We'll give it Saturn. We'll give Pisces Jupiter because they didn't see Neptune." So you know,
Yeah. Because I was gonna be my second question. I've heard people try to associate Pisces with Jupiter, and I'm like, what? It's like I always thought that was Neptune.
right. But
Okay.
oh, by the way, it's amazing seeing your sons in Pisces. That's oh, this is dope. So this is gonna be. I'm glad you got an hour because
Yeah,
um,
me too. I'm just happy you had a little sign or a little sale because I was like, okay, I could do this. So I'm like, I want you for an hour.
I'm gonna have to be real with you, yo. Y'all,
Yeah.
y'all have the audacity to be so magical. I'm a little offended, to be yeah, I've kind of been traumatized just by all the Pisces I've kind of hung out with and connected with. Even to this day, like it's getting impossible to connect with y'all and not see some kind of super weird or strange miracle. So I mean, I
Okay,
would,
so you're coming at this from a place of like, are you feeling why do you feel upset by this?
I mean, maybe I just want to live a normal 3D life and not
Oh,
feel like
got it.
see synchronicities just because. I mean, I
No, it will mind fuck you, right? Like
yes, I mean, I was traumatized for years. Y'all forced me to get out my goddamn head and like just believe in, I just like to
uh-huh,
think and
uh-huh.
get stuck in my head, but then I just get speechless around y'all. And then I came to realize, oh, I'm getting trolled. Like it's been a wild ride. So I just get apprehensive when I see any kind of
Aw.
Pisces
I'm
in this
honestly
chart.
sorry. I love Geminis. There's like a love-hate, obviously, but I do think that you guys have like, I think you've even talked about it before where Pisces kind of understands Gemini and Gemini understands Pisces on some level.
Oh yeah,
Um,
the love hate is real. I feel you.
yeah. So I feel like we probably do share that. We have that in common where we have that love-hate with the other sign. So
Oh yeah. No, for real. It's
the
really
person,
dope.
yeah. Yeah, because there's things like I love about Geminis. Like you want to like remove some blockages for me at least. Whenever I talk to my Gemini friends, like that happens. Like fucking Pac was a Gemini. Like there's just so many Geminis that I connect with, you know? And that's a little vague, but just even like in real life. And but then they also are so fucking annoying. Like my stepdad's a Gemini. Like y'all just have like I don't know. Like
Can I be real with you?
yeah.
From my Capricorn moon to we're so fucking annoying. It's not even funny. It's ridiculous. I annoy the shit out of myself every day just because I can't shut up. It's a problem, but you
Yeah.
know, um, at least I'm not unreasonably magical like Pisces. Just
No, you are. You
no,
were
I'm
Magic Mike for a
magical.
reason. You
Oh no,
know.
I'm magical. Trust me, I'm
Yes.
magical. I'm just not 4 degrees Pisces and 44 minutes synchronicities popping Pisces.
Gotcha.
I just excuse my tone. Like I've had the experiences. I know there's more to come, but I'm on
Nice.
it all. So the
Okay.
first thing, without making this too much of like a natal chart reading, because your natal chart is splendiferous. Okay, I see you have the ninth house sign. I know a little bit about you, ninth house Pisces sun. I know that y'all literally warp reality with the magic of your beliefs, and you guys
Mhm.
make it look like, oh, it's just the law of attraction, and it's like, no, you're super magical goddesses. But I've actually seen this. Like, it was very inspirational. Like, the whole mechanic behind ninth house Pisces is that you literally are a divine teacher, which is cool because Pisces is the spirit. The sun in Pisces is the spirit of the ascended master, and the divine being. So this is really dope. You got your moon in Cancer, which is in its dignity. So your moon rules your entire chart. Although some people don't acknowledge the moon as a chart ruler, I definitely do. You're quintessentially the high priestess here, and you have the Cancer rising. So I've noticed women with that. Um, on top of being very, beautiful, are super psychic because now you are the embodiment of this intuitive wisdom, which is dangerous as a Pisces sun because you just got the tea on everybody. You just gotta look or feel into them, and boop, you see the tea. Um, the thing that I really saw first that I wanted to mention, but got distracted because I was like, "Oh my gosh, look at this Pisces magic," is
Sorry.
no, is your 29-degree Mercury. So you have a cerebral apex. Um, I have 29 degrees Mercury. If you think about the success of my career and why people love listening to me, it's because of my mastery of communication. And that is due to my Mercury being 29 degrees right next to my AC. It enables me to masterfully enunciate and ground and break down everything. Now, you have 29 degrees Mercury in Aquarius, okay? My youngest sister, born 94, has 29 degrees Mercury in Gemini. And not only is she the most talented person I know, but she graduated Howard with 4.0 GPA at the top of her class of honors. So, throughout history and into these modern times, anyone who has 29 degrees planets, it's a master at that aspect. You can see this with athletes too, or models and whatnot. But Mercury 29 degrees are held by the smartest and brightest individuals, like people who can, I wouldn't even say Mercury is that much more an indicator of smartness as much as it is brain processing and capability. But for you to have this in Aquarius, the reason why I referenced my younger sister and what she did with it in Gemini is that 29 degrees Mercury in Aquarius is the most genius brain capacity and ability to process possible. And then on top of that, out of all the Mercury in Aquarius, you have it right behind your Pisces sun. So this in effect gives you the ability to like know without knowing. Regardless, the way
Mhm.
you process information is going to be so brilliantly genius. You process the maximum capability of knowledge in a situation that can be processed so quickly that it's going to look like intuition. And so having that on top of literally embodying the high priestess with the moon in Cancer is probably one of the most dangerous combinations I've ever seen in astrology, because not only can you pretty much just process the higher knowledge of who you're dealing with and a situation logically, but then you can also feel it intuitively. So it's probably impossible for you to be lied to. Does that resonate with you? How do you feel about that?
No, it really does, and I think, like, to where I have been called crazy before or have been gaslit, so where I feel like I'm going crazy and to where I'm like, "No, I know I'm not crazy anymore." Like, I'm never falling for that shit again. Um, so I would say, yeah, like it does, and it kind of scares me because there's still, I'm not gonna lie, as confident as that can be, as I'm trying to be in that, there's also still that in the back of my head, like, well, I could be wrong, you know? So I don't know. I think that I'm still like trying my best to kind of like accept that. Um,
No, I feel you on that.
yeah,
What Cancer taught me is that y'all are the most gaslighted zodiac sign for real.
yes, yes.
And it took me a while to even learn how to know when one is being gaslighted, because it's gonna be so inauthentic and deceptive. It'll really look like people are being honest, and the whole time it's just like a concerned, determined effort to really put you in a box or manipulate you. So the thing that we see this in your chart represented as, ironically, is Saturn in Aquarius, and Neptune and Uranus that opposes the Cancer, because in the seventh house and eighth house, this comes primarily by way of other people, literally any other person who is threatened by how powerfully sincere you are. Because once again, like, you dish the tea, like you are the juice. Like Gemini risings got the juice, but Cancer risings are the juice. You're very juicy and you're divine. Cancer is holiness and Pisces is divinity, right? So you're the embodiment of holiness with Chiron and Cancer making you an instrument for healing, which is so divine in the ninth. But it's a fancy way of saying you effortlessly trigger the bejesus out of people, because you can't not trigger people's emotional wounds just by breathing, because you always tap into it. And these don't even have to be wounds, but we do have to really open up to the personification of you not only representing and being an instrument of this soul power, but soul healing. The interesting here, though, is you're depending on what time you were born, it's possible your moon might actually be 29 degrees Gemini. So, regardless, there's still that trine, but moon in Gemini, moon in Cancer is night and day. So, like, you'll know if you feel
No, I do my time is 1:04 sorry, my time is 1:04 PM. I do think it is the Cancer over Gemini. However, it is in the 12th house, which is in Gemini, and I do know that the more I'm learning about Gemini moons, I'm like, "Well, I am kind of fucking crazy, so maybe shit, maybe it could be." So, I don't know. It just seems very, like, unstable, and I feel like I'm getting more stability now as I'm, like, getting older. But I feel like a lot of my emotional instability, I don't know if I resonated that with being Cancer and, like, it being, like, different signs very in tune with the moon, you know?
okay, you confirmed it's legit, because what you described was the definition of the um what you describe was the definition of the cusp on 0 degrees. Because 0 degrees, Cancer is also 30 degrees Gemini. So, like,
Okay.
you're really a super genius for real. Because Pisces is the legend. And the thing that I kind of offended about with Pisces is y'all play dumb better than us, better than Gemini. It's like, wow. Um It
Wait,
kinda
wait, you're saying who plays dumb better?
y'all play dumb better than Gemini. It's not fair. You really will convince people that you didn't read their mind or already, like, dream of the situation or know what's gonna happen. Like, I'm telling Monty y'all, like,
No,
y'all
I know Imma be real with you, you're not wrong, and that's why I fuck with you. You're not wrong. So I'm laughing because it is funny and somebody who, someone might, like, resonate in this, like, and be like, "Haha," like, hold it over your head. I could see someone doing that, but no, like, that's why I fuck with you because like, you're, like, legit. I've had dreams of shit or just, like, things like that'll happen. So, to be called out on it is so, like, refreshing, but also, like, fuck, he's right though. Like
y'all be completely fine, like, y'all will do the most magical thing and be like, "Oh, what? No, that's nothing." Why don't you come
No,
You can
again, though, it kinda goes back to that still, like, a small piece of doubt there, of like, "Is this shit real?" Like, so I that's at least where I come from in that, you
No, I
know?
I love that too because
Yeah,
you're literally on the verge of just, like, completely breaking through out of that doubt, like, the synchronization train you've gone through is completing because the only reason why you have doubt is because of the because you are so you have an individual personality, you have an individual soul, but you have a goddess level spirit, a collective spirit. So because of your collective representation as a Pisces sun, the cool thing is as an individual, your feelings are your feelings. Like you bring your feelings to express collectively to the world. But the doubt that you're sensing is a bit of Mercury behind your sun because Mercury in 29 degrees Aquarius is the maximum knowledgeable capability for your brain to process at its fullness. So you know how they say it's a myth that your brain only accesses 10% and can't access 100%. Well,
yeah,
turns out that's not a myth at all. It's actually true. It's just the way it's said is misleading. So it's not that your brain just accesses 10% and there's a 90% that's just like not being used. Your brain activity is for the most part your full brain is always going to be active. But the way to say it is most people will only produce 10% of the power. Like even though your full brain is active, most people will only produce 10% output, right? So 29-degree Mercuries like yourself have the ability to use 100% of their brain capacity. It's called the cerebral apex. Now, in Aquarius, right? Because this is 12th house to your sun, the way and I have this too as a Gemini with Mercury and Taurus, the way we communicate is going to be subconscious to our consciousness in that we will process information and our body will move in ways before we're even aware of what we're doing. And on top of that, because Mercury in Aquarius is more representative of the higher knowledge and logic of a situation, this is the trick to this. The doubt that you have is Mercury. The doubt that you have is a reflection of the manipulative or rather deceptive quality of the collective around you. So
mhm,
it's because you kind of share into it and it's kind of like at the back of your head, inhibiting you. The way that this will kind of play out through you is a limiter because now Saturn has returned. So you've returned your full strength. And once it goes into Pisces, you're in the process of fully blossoming this and structuring this. So Mars in the 12th is the unconscious habits that can form as a weakness because the 12th house is a superpower. So Mars in the 12th house also adds to this nature of reality warping through just being able to say anything super assertively or angrily or with power behind it, and it adds a lot of assertion to the way you communicate your spiritual beliefs or act unconsciously about things. So I'll kind of talk about that, but because these air sign aspects designate more logical means of processing information, this type of aspect will enable your brain to know what is fantasy and what's real. So the reason why you doubt sometimes is because your brain will kind of let you know this is unreal. Like this isn't possible. But what you forget is you're a super magical Pisces goddess who has the audacity to be so goddamn magical. And so the Mercury is actually right, like your doubt, and this is what I had to learn too, being a mutable sign. Your doubt isn't entirely wrong, when you kind of feel that doubt, this is your own mind or body telling you that what you're experiencing is not logically possible. And then Pisces is like, that's because I made it possible, boo, magic, boo.
I
And
see that. Yes.
right, it's I have chills because like it's such a blatant disregard for the rules of reality.
Right, right.
So
And it's
that
funny because 'cause I've been, like, pondering on that thought lately just as far as, like, in my mind, like, if man can think it, it could be, you know?
oh yeah.
Very which is kind of it's scary, but also very, like, comforting in some ways, you know? But
And
scary.
so given your position, like your that's your legacy. You're here to teach the entire collective higher beliefs around the creation of one's world with their mind and with their heart. Like you're literally here to teach people how to see the unseen and how to change the world or their own world with their beliefs. You're a spirit teacher of metaphysics, divinity, and even if you are an atheist with this, the people who you teach directly or indirectly, you would captivate and stimulate their imagination so that they think outside the box. So
Mhm.
right? So it's very amazing because Saturn that's gonna go into Pisces is gonna take this evolution of Jupiter from January to May of this year that evolved your career, by the way. You're getting ready for huge career breakthroughs. Congratulations.
I thank you.
Living the dream life. Um,
I'm in
whether
grad school, so almost.
oh, okay, I have chills. Thank you for saying that because the ninth house is the house of higher education. So you
Mm,
grad school, Saturn that's gonna go through your ninth is gonna complete this graduate school. Because I was gonna say once Saturn goes through the ninth, you're gonna have the authority to teach what you know. And so you showed me what that looks like. That's their grad school. Once Saturn finishes out of Pisces, you'll probably finish grad school. And now the authority, obviously, through like a degree or certification, to teach this will bring you around the world. Um, but it's going to completely blossom all your psychic powers and abilities. With us born 90 and 91, it takes minimum 30 years to really like step into this. Unlike older or other generations, like some in the new too, who come into it super young. Like the
mhm.
95ers with Saturn and Aries, they came into it super young.
I
Um,
see that.
the older generation, like the Uranus and Neptune and Sagittarius, they grew up really young because they had to, the life forced them to grow up young rather. Us, we're late bloomers, and the most of millennial generation that people need but won't admit. So it is what it is. We're
Right.
we're pretty legit in our own way. But
Yes.
yeah, you would be one of the upper level echelon managers or exclusive creators here. Because remember, in the ninth house too, you also are not. The ninth house is a house of God, so your spirit literally comes into an ascended state of divine consciousness, where through your Pisces sun, you literally perceive almost like if behind the veil the full divine meaning of a situation, and then you feel into how you individually feel into it, which gives you the vibration of holy divinity. And I'm sorry, I know this is a progress reading, but your natal chart is so legit. Like, um, it's something that is literally blossoming. So I just want to
Thank
emphasize
you.
29 degrees Mercury in Aquarius is a mastermind. You are a mastermind. I'm saying this from one mastermind to another, um, because I have a mastermind, but it's in Taurus. This is where behind Gemini, like Gemini thinks really quickly, but Taurus moves really slowly. So I can be slow as fuck and still fast. Like I can really fast and they'll be so slow to get something in my face and I feel like the dumbest idiot. But like,
That is me.
right.
I think
um,
too, I just come off very, like, to Cancer rising, very, like, just, "Oh, like, I don't know what I'm doing. What?" Like, I'm not smart, or I don't know, I feel like I come off very, like, kinda stupid.
and
So
it's a lot of that is going to be because you may sometimes be unconscious to the mastery of your genius, and may be willing to downplay it more because in the eighth you glean these psychoanalytical, knowledgeable insights towards others, and they feel like you get this knowledge from others. When actually, no, it's completely you. Not only is
mm,
it you, your brain is able to process it before people even do or say it. And you may not be conscious of the fact that you completely freak certain people out because, yeah, okay. And this is like the super magical nature device. Maybe you're aware of it, maybe not, but like you're the type of person where like you'll be talking to someone and you're very, Pisces is a very unconditionally loving energy. You got the Chiron in Cancer, so you are a healer. Like you are empathic. You can't help but to bleed empathically, right? Maybe you even have this awkward body language telepathy or body telepathy where you can feel other people's pain. But, you
mm.
know, someone could be talking to you and you'll be talking to them about the weather. And then they'll make some snide remark in their head. They'll be like, she's nice, but damn, like her shoes are hideous. And then you'll finish talking to them about the weather, and then you'll be like, "Yeah, it's such a great day. Too bad my shoes are hideous, though. I wish I had better shoes." And then they'll be like, "What the fuck? Did she hear my mind?" You know what I'm saying? You'll just kinda troll them or you'll just kinda allude, even if you don't say it physically, like, your body language will kinda respond to what people are thinking with it, and it's or the way people react. There's a very supernatural quality to this that I just kinda wanna push out there because Saturn is
No, you're so right. You're so right.
and I would say that's just one of the many ways. So I just wanna really push your way that your brain has the capacity to process the maximum amount of knowledge, and in the second house relative to your dealings with other people. So this makes it really hard to lie to you because, you'll be able to just tell based off of what people do and didn't do, and this helps you really discover who's a hidden enemy. Now, the reason why you'll still get taken advantage of, abused, and lied to isn't because you knew they were full of shit, it's because you didn't wanna believe it. You didn't wanna believe
Mhm.
these people, will really do it, even though you already know before they do.
Is
Even
that part of, like, the planets that are in the 7th too?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
okay.
Cancer risings born in the 90s are some of the most psychic people because Neptune and Uranus on the seventh house is one thing, right? But then you specifically, so any Cancer rising with Uranus and Neptune, um, because it's in the seventh house, right? Uranus and Neptune bring extra dimensional quality of Neptune of imagination and then Uranus of the higher mind, right? So these are invisible, they're expressly invisible. You can't see them. Um, that being said, for them to be so close to your DC, one, that makes a shadow. So you attract the craziest, strangest. Uh,
Sorry.
yeah, I'm just keep it a buck. Like you draw this out, you draw eccentricity out of people because you help people feel comfortable being around you. So
Yeah.
if they don't have integrity, like they'll probably be creepy, obsessive, weird, controlling, manipulative. But this is so that Capricorn maintains integrity. You have the capacity to build the most extraordinary partnerships of integrity. It also means relationships can happen so unconventionally and they're meant to be strange. Now, the reason why they're meant to be strange is because you're supernatural AF. So you're actually facilitating awakening for people in relationships. Now, Cancer risings with this, right? There's a Leo rising version for people born after 95, but the Cancer rising version of this is the most psychically powerful. Why? Because you already feel so powerfully, right? So what Uranus and Neptune does is it psychoanalyzes instantly body language responses so that you will feel the ain't shitness from people, excuse my language. Like, if someone has no integrity, your body will literally twitch. Like, you will literally sense with your body the nature of someone's character real time as they're actually expressing it, because Uranus and Neptune will now bring you to the quantum nature of people's energy fields and bodies way past their mind, way beyond their ability to even be aware.
You saying
So
this is literally giving me chills.
yeah, no, it's one of the I want to do a documentary on it because every time I see it in a chart, it's very mind blowing because basically with this, um, people's bodies could just snitch to you. Like, you'll just know before
Yeah.
you you'll just get a feeling like this person's full of crap or I can trust this person. Now, that's just having the Cancer rising. You also have your moon in Cancer. So you will actually reflect the physical sensation that your body triggers about someone else within moments of meeting them. You just gain a clear cognizant sense. And then your moon in Cancer psychically feels it. So you can feel what other people feel. You'll feel based off of what you sense from others if you feel comfortable or not. But because of this opposition and pressure and the conjunct to Saturn, this can seemingly inhibit your emotions if you don't feel like going off on other people because the elements of this are so subtle. I'm glad you asked that question. Having this psychic ability will enable you to pick up so much information about someone without them even saying anything. So based off of what they do, you're gleaning off all of this. So very powerful because it's opposite Chiron, which is on your south node. So your destiny is to take this sincere power of you as a high priestess and to, I don't want to say fix other people, but to direct other people to form these super powerful partnerships. And your destiny, like anyone born 91, is the most supernaturally unconventional, strange destiny path ever, where you're going to innovate the systematic structure of the collective, and you're going to do that through partnerships, which means you're chosen by destiny because you're that powerful. I mean, you're using your own self to heal other people, which says a lot about you. Obviously, that that kind of reeks of martyrdom, like the Pisces ascended mastery, like you are here to guide humanity. So it would make sense. You're like, you know what, this lifetime, I'm gonna really, find the right people who have integrity and I'm gonna put them on. I'm gonna set them on a path of greatness. And
That's pretty much
no one even knows
sorry.
this though. No, you're straight. And please don't hesitate to interrupt at anything you want to say. I would
You
say no.
said no one even knows I'm like this?
No one even knows you do this though. The whole time they think they're helping you out. They think like, "Oh,
Um,
wow, let me hook you up." And that's not like in a bad way because it is reflexive. There is some give and take. When you help other people out, it helps you. But like there could be this, especially and I don't want to make this like a sexist thing where oh men are horrible, but you know, um especially as a woman, it could be very easy for you to not be taken seriously, be seen as emotional, be gaslighted, and just kind of be seen as like, you're there. Not that people don't acknowledge your talents and see that you're a very special person, but I would say over 99% of the things you do and facilitate go completely under people's radar. So they won't know that they broke through because you were there. They
wow.
won't know that they got that insight just because you were there, not because you told them, just because you were there. You know what I mean? Like your presence is divine. That's the legendary quality of this Pisces sun. And now I think in your wisdom, you prefer it this way. I think you go out of your way to veil yourself like a Prince Hakeem who is coming to America so that
Yes.
no one knows like you're a supernatural goddess of like an astral realm. You just kind of blend in like, oh, I'm Danielle. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? So um
Yeah.
it's what's up. Because once again, with Mars in the 12th, like that, before it becomes a superpower, it is gonna feel crazy as hell because everything that Pisces in your sun is believing, Mars is going to kind of instantly doubt because it doesn't logically all the way make sense. And it
Yeah.
can drive your mind wild with processing so much information and reacting aggressively towards anything that's untrue. And so
Mhm.
the 12th house undoing is getting so caught up in this desire to stimulate your mind that it doesn't allow you to tap into your sincere emotions because your mind is going all over the place. When the way this is a superpower is when you just surrender to that. Because I have Mars in the 12th too. And Mars in the 12th is very difficult because the masculine assertion of like, you have to do this, you have to do this. The 12th house is like, no, no, the F I don't. No, I could just chill. And it kind of completely puts a leash and inhibits that Martian action. But the thing here is you can take it's like having ultra instinct. In the 12th, it's good for martial arts because when you kind of surrender that need for action, you facilitate the experience around you and then you take action after the fact. And the timing is always ungodly perfect. Or there's a way to kind of look at it here where also make you it gives you good 12 houses house of bed pleasure, so there's also a desire for that, but more in a mentally stimulated way. This will kind of enable you to um in a way the best way I could say this is like you can kind of turn around and throw a dart without looking at the board and hit the jackpot or hit the bullseye. Um,
Mhm.
but that requires such a intuitive faith of surrender. If you try and figure out, I'm not looking at it. What? How am I going to hit the bullseye? You'll miss every time. But when you just kind of let go and you just do it, whoosh, bullseye, and that doesn't make sense. Like there's nothing about that that makes sense.
Mhm.
But that's the supernatural nature of it. So a lot of these actions that you take can be induced unconscious to you without you always knowing why. But that's the Pisces square, where you'll be able to adjust how you believe. Basically, if you get any clash or doubt, Pisces is asking you to believe higher. Like you need
Mhm.
to think bigger. So okay, um, we know that you represent holy divinity or you are the sincere divine being or ascended master. So you have progressed into Aries. Your sun is 6 degree Aries. Congratulations. Um, and your moon is 29 degrees Leo. And that is so iconic because what are the odds? In just about a few weeks, or if not a week, your moon is about to progress into Virgo because the progressed moon moves a degree every month. And then it also moves the progressed sun a degree every year. So you are getting ready to step into your progressed full moon transit in Libra. That's going to be in another 35 months from now, give or take like close to 3 years. And you're going to completely break into more success than you've ever achieved. Congratulations in advance. As a Gemini sun, once I progressed into Cancer, I had my new moon around like 14, and then I had the full moon in Capricorn around like 27. And 2017, when I had my progressed full moon, the progressed full moon transit is where you come into the harvest and completion. And so during that
Mhm.
period, you come into the most success. During that period in Capricorn, I never had to work a full time job again. I made the most money I ever made. And, I'm about to finish this harvest chapter, but you're about to kick it off. That means you were born, right? And then you had the full moon in Virgo shortly after you were born, because you were born with the moon Cancer, 4 years old, you had the trine, and then uh, you had the full moon in Virgo to complete that, which was you at such a young age, maybe around like 7, feeling the understanding of how you analyze in your attitude to complete this nature of how you explore the world with your beliefs. Because ninth house Pisces Sun is one of the most magical ninth houses ever. Like your ability to manifest or just warp reality, just because you believe something, it's very law of attraction. Like you would be a master. Like you could teach the law of attraction very practically, and with Mercury and Aquarius, you can break it down in such a highly knowledgeable way. It'll almost be very inspiring. Like the Aquarius will break it down in a highly scientific way that won't sound like woo spirituality, but you still be able to creatively express it with Pisces ninth house in a creative way that isn't always just too scientific. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. So you had the full moon in Virgo, then okay, actually, I thought this. It looks like you had the full moon in Virgo, then a new moon in Pisces. So let me make sure because, yeah, it
I
looks
was
like.
gonna ask you too, which chart were you using? Which house system?
Oh, I'm using the equal sign.
Okay.
So every house is 7 degrees. Great question. I blend it with whole signs too. But yeah,
Okay.
so you know, with that being said, what's very key here is yeah, it looks like you had the right before you were born, you had the new moon in the end of Aquarius because 4 degrees would mean two. Yeah, so that means you had the full moon in Pisces and then you had the new moon at the end of Pisces, let's say recently. So let me actually go back. It's worth going back in time to see because the new moon in Pisces is when you kicked off that cycle. So let's say 2000. Let's say 2010. Yep. Okay. So 2011 was when you had the new moon in Pisces cycle. So you had the full, that means you're advanced. You had the full moon before the new moon. So you completed the cycle, then you came back around and ended the Pisces progression by starting the new moon cycle. So when the new moon comes after the full moon, you kick off the next sign with the new moon in the before. So the new moon in Pisces, 2011, was you kicking off this brand new cycle of expanding and stepping forward into new beliefs, a brand new divine cycle that will step into now Aries. The significance of the Aries progression is as an ascended master, you're now manifesting your identity, the value of your identity. Because as an ascended master, Pisces releases their ego. And so you may, in your connection to reflecting the entire collective, as a consequence, literally be the opposite of Aries, which is like, I miss, and is more self.
Mhm.
So now the Aries progression means you finally have graduated this selflessness, and it's now time to manifest your identity. Ascended Master Danielle. This is where you're now fleshing in through your individual actions the character of the divinity you represent. So if we fast forward, 2011 was that new entrance into that, and 2022, 11 years later, the moon is getting ready to move into Virgo. And once the moon is in Libra, which I'll also give you a future date, let's say 2026, then you are going to have your full moon. Yeah, let's say 2025. 2025 and 2026 is going to be your full moon transit. Yep, 2025, you're going to have around literally September, the full moon. This full moon is going to be where you complete you're starting off the Aries transit, completing the new moon in Pisces cycle. So the new perception of beliefs that you started 2011 is completing by understanding the social balance needed to express the manifestation of these beliefs in the expression of your identity. This is going to lead into a 7 to 10 year harvest period from progressed moon in Libra to Capricorn to make way for the new moon in Aries, where you'll begin the Taurus cycle with the new moon in Aries. So you're getting ready or on the verge of completing this expression of your identity. Whereas as a Gemini, I have to go through Cancer, which I'm not the biggest fan because I want to just talk smack and I don't want to have to feel emotions and like add more depth to what I say and be psychically attacked. But we'll make it.
Uh-huh.
I'll let
You have knowledge as your power. You know what's going on, so you'll make it through.
you. Yeah, it's given me so much empathy for Cancer. I'm like, how does Cancer deal with this? What is this?
My sister's a Cancer, my aunt is a Cancer. I feel you. And me being Cancer rising, Cancer moon, I'm like, "Oh my god, you guys are so much. I cannot." Like
and I would say more with how does Cancer deal with this stuff y'all deal with? Like, I could have
A
been you
lot.
damn.
Yes, and that's why they're so fucking moody.
No wonder y'all be moody. Like, this is ridiculous. Um, and then I'll go into Leo, and then I can just proudly talk smack like a Kanye West that just doesn't care. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I can imagine it's similar to you. You know, going through Aries might be like having to go through the battlefield, and it's not the usual Pisces piece, but once you go through Taurus, it'll ground, and then you'll start to get comfortable or luxurious. So, yeah, it's important because now the moon that's about to go into Virgo in the next few weeks, like within any moment, is huge. You're going to feel that shift considerably. You can literally tell a lot of the moment by the progressed moon. So when the progressed moon for me was in Sag, I was going out all the time. When it was in Cap, I was booked and busy. Then it went into Aquarius. I went back to school. Now it's in
Mhm.
Pisces. I've been chilling. It's about to. I've been seeing very strange mystical experiences, but it's been ascending, right? So you're about to go through Virgo. You coming through Leo while coming into Aries, charged through the expression um of how you take this, beginning Aries Sun progress transit and express creatively with it. This is actually iconic because your rising is in Leo now, and you have Jupiter in Leo. So you have Jupiter in the second house. It does fall in the first, but you're on the ranks of Bill Gates, Kylie Jenner, people who have Jupiter in a second. Yeah, it's sixth house from your sun, but you have such wealth of creativity and bold courage that you can use to manifest all sorts of money and worth and value. Your true value is confidence. Your true value is creativity and coming from the heart. So now you have progressed your personality from high priestess to solar queen to where you now personify the quality of your own values, and you have Jupiter on your rising. This is such a huge deal because now you embody like this king queen of the gods where you evolve and you step into this boldness of passion. But you did this while the moon was going through Leo. So while the sun began in Aries, you are now kicking off this brand new lunar cycle of personifying your royalty. My friend, you have to tell people to kiss the ring and hair flip. Like there's no other way. Because you got Saturn and Aquarius and they go try and come for you and act like they're too cool for school. And then you got to remind these hoes, like, no, no, you're not seeing thing. And that could be kind of uncomfortable at first because Leo does not shy away from letting you know that it's in the building. Like you just do a hair flip and people got to respect
Mhm.
it. And people come for Leo because people are jealous of Leo because
Yes.
they will never got it like Leo has it, and it is what it is. And you got it, like you not only got it, but you got Jupiter there, so you got it. Like it, whoop, you just pop, expand.
What do you think of when people are like, "Oh," as far because when I think of Jupiter on my ascendant, I think of too, like, weight gain. I'm like, "Bitch, why are you trying when I've been doing so good?" Like, is there any truth to that?
You said you weight gain, right?
Uh-huh.
So is that what you experienced?
A little bit, like, as far as, like I don't know, like, I fluctuate a lot, but I'm still, like, I would say, like, thick, you know? But I've also lost a lot of weight. Basically, I've kind of fluctuated, and right now I'm in, like, my middle point, you know? I've been bigger, I've been smaller. I'm just kinda chilling right now, but I am trying to kick it in gear now that, I wanna feel more comfortable, I guess.
That's deep. That's deep. Yeah, I mean Jupiter. It's interesting too because you have this in the progress sense. So it can do that. I think more personally, if anything, um, I some
You're like,
that
"Bitch, don't blame the stars."
that kind of expansion just kind of builds you up so that you're in a position to balance it. But I don't think you have to worry about that because the moon's going into Virgo, so it's gonna kind the Virgo moon will kind of align it and lean it down, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Because I feel like I've been kind of feeling this preparation going into that, more of like a grounded sense to my energy kind of in some ways, in some. I don't know
Yeah,
if that's like
over the next, this is cool because we're in Virgo season. So by the time Virgo season ends, your progressed moon will enter Virgo. I would
nice.
say within a week or two, and you will feel that over the next month or two, where now, because you finished the fifth house, which the purpose of this 30-month moon in Leo was to fully express your creativity. So it was,
Mhm.
you were in positions where you were having to have as much fun as you can because you're expressing the inner child of this new Aries personification. It's over your Venus, your MC is now in Aries. So like your legacy, which in Pisces is to inspire this divinity and imagination, is now to step into your power and to come into this independent success. So the moon in Virgo is going to instantly, the first 6 months, activate in King Consciousness. And now that you've established what you love coming into this Aries fire, now you're going to build the lifestyle and behavior. So you're going to be putting in a lot of work. This is probably going to make you a lot of money because this is your progress second house. And it's going to, over the next 30 months, fundamentally change and fine tune your behavior so that this will bring into full completion your character you're developing once this 2025 completes in Libra, and then you'll make the 17-year journey from the full moon to take this completed balanced sense of character, build it through other people, and then the new moon in Aries, bam, establish this brand new cycle of now going into Taurus and manifesting the value of this character. So we also know Mars is coming out of Gemini. It's progressed 26 degrees. Venus that you had in Aries is now in its dignity, progressed in Taurus. So you're strengthening the power of your very exciting, passionate heart and adding a lot of loyalty and groundedness to it. And Mercury, which was 29 degrees mastered, quickly breezed through Pisces and is now reaching mastery 24 degrees in Aries. So you have the knowledgeable quality of your brain, but you, through Pisces, upgraded it so that it's nonlinear and magic to read between the lines. And now in Aries, you're developing the voice of your mind and how to communicate your thoughts more boldly and vulgarly, because Mercury and Aries can tell you
Yes.
just really want to say it. And that's a beautiful thing. So
I'm
yeah.
like, "Shut up."
Right, yes, yes. And you got the Leo rising, so just feel free to tell people to kiss the ring or just hair flip.
I love that.
So yeah, I apologize. I made this more of a natal reading than a progress reading, but yeah, that's in a nutshell.
No, I got what I wanted out of it, so thank you. I feel like that was perfect.
Oh,
It kind of tied in some things that because I've been kind of studying, seeing more things come up in my natal lately, as I've been learning a little bit, and just I don't know. I think it's kind of cool that you brought in some of these things because I feel like it makes more sense to me now. So, yeah.
that's awesome.
I wanted to tell you something quickly though, and I don't know, maybe I should tell you or not. I don't even care. I'm just gonna tell you. So basically, when you were talking about that whole like seventh house shit that I have going on,
Yeah.
being able to like pick up on the information of some things. So I went through this during like my training for work, and basically my supervisor, I was picking up that she wanted to try to get somebody committed, and I was going a little paranoid thinking it was me.
Mm.
Um just in the sense of like I know that I was very stressed out, so very like high strung on my energy, I have to watch out for that cuz sometimes it can like when you're talking about like manifesting and like the physical, I feel like that's something that I do experience a lot of, like just kind of like I feel like I hold a lot in my body too. But basically and it came out to be that she was trying to get somebody committed on the team, and it was another teacher. And
Mm.
this poor teacher, I felt so terrible for her because she wasn't psychologically unstable. I'm in school to be a school psychologist, so it's
Oh, I
more
have chills. So that's the MC in Pisces, psychology. Thank you so much.
Okay,
And
cool.
it literally, I hate to interrupt, but the ruler of your MC is in the seventh, so it's like you're gonna innovate psychology applied towards other people. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So I was
Oh
wondering what
my
else.
gosh.
So you're gonna teach psychology. That's
Y
awesome.
yes, and I don't know, and that's what's like I do feel that I have, like, the teacher spirit, you know, or that I embody that,
That's the ninth house sun. The ninth house sun is a teacher spirit. My bad.
yeah, I could also teach I would like to actually teach online for a community college. That's what I would like to do.
Interesting.
So I can do that in like, because I like the non-traditional students a lot, you know, I was a non-traditional student, so
Right.
that is an aspect. I don't know. I also very much like another reason why I really I think gravitate towards you is you've been really vocal about like you with Christianity with your mom and your sisters and like I feel like I've had a lot of the same path in the sense of like I do believe in Jesus, but I also do believe in astrology and I do think of it as like a science, kind of like how you talk about it. Like I don't know, I feel like it helps give me a language to describe the energies that I understand, you know? So the more like that's how I see it at least. And I don't know. I just kind of felt the need to tell you that. So
No, that's awesome. And see, your belief in Christ or your belief in this higher force, that's also going to kind of be a huge part of your life path because you help show people miracles and you're going to teach people how to believe in something beyond themselves, which is awesome. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to send you this recording, but uh, definitely feel free to keep in touch. That's what I was going to say. Your MC is progressed 24 degrees right on your progressed Mercury. So coming into next year when Jupiter goes over this is going to hyper accelerate the progress of your graduate degree. And this may actually propel you forward through getting promoted or pushing you forward to communicate something that's going to put you out there. So I just wanted to have you keep that in mind because it's in your 10th house and it's going to establish a forward step towards manifesting all this rewards for a career with the eclipse in
nice.
your 11th. So yeah, you have a lot to look forward to. And thank you once again for ordering this